Entrepreneurs and business professionals alike are all looking for that competitive edge. The competitive edge that will help them develop more referral sources and actual new business referrals to help build their practices and businesses. In our last segment, we talked about the importance and effectiveness of a good corporate networking program and determine exactly how to identify the right groups to get involved in. Now it's time to evaluate these groups. Based upon my 3 decades of business experience, I can definitely recommend that it's good to make a contact in advance of just showing up at a meeting. So you might want to contact the executive director, president, or membership committee chair. These are all people who have a vested interest in getting new members involved in their organizations. It's good to ask them the lay of the land. What's the situation? How's the organization doing? Who are some of the key members? What are the organization's needs? How can you help out? Givers get. That's what works in corporate networking. Those who want to give of themselves and make a contribution to the group. Those who want to help show their stuff and their capabilities and their work ethic for the greater good. The other questions you might want to ask are, who are the centers of influence? What makes this organization tick? You might be surprised. It may or may not be a board member or officer. It might be just some hardworking members that really help make things happen. Lastly, you want to determine what the greatest needs are for the organization to see if some of your skills fit and where and how you can help out. This is prior to attending the first meeting. I've met so many professionals in the past that show up to a meeting, don't really meet anybody, don't do any follow-up, don't go to another meeting, and they're wondering why they didn't get any new business. Well, corporate networking and networking in general is like dating and eventually going steady or getting married. You don't show up at the first meeting the first time you meet someone and ask them to marry you. And you certainly don't do that when you are getting involved in an organization. You got to date first. So we'll talk a little bit about how to date. One thing I recommend is to show up to the meeting early. That way you can meet the speakers, which might be high-profile people. You can meet the officers, the executive director face-to-face without the competition of 50 to 100 new members showing up. That's important. It'll make your job easier. The other is to ask some of the people you called in advance, meet them, and have them help make face-to-face introductions for you. Lastly, you might want to bring a business associate or friend with you because sometimes it's easier to network when you have someone with you as opposed to feeling like you're in the middle of the ocean in a rowboat all by yourself. In our next segment, we're going to talk further about how to get involved in an organization in order to develop those new relationships you're looking to build.